the Anglo-Saxons were consummate storytellers, and the stories they told themselves not only talked about how their origins, where they came from, but also could be used as pedagogical or didactic literature, largely as a form of education. Now, to us, of course, we see education as a very formal process. One goes to school and is taught by a teacher who has acquired a certain level of expertise in a subject, whether it's in sciences or the arts or in business. And we see this as the way to learn, that one goes to an expert or one who has acquired this expertise, and of course then is able to pass down this expertise through classroom instruction, lectures, and things of that nature. Anglo-Saxons, of course, saw education a little differently, and their education took on different forms. Of course, there were the monastic schools, which for by and large was a formal form of education. Often the sons of rich or fairly well-established nobles would be sent to these monastic schools to gain the rudiment of reading and writing, either for a career in the church or in the burgeoning bureaucracy that was developing under, particularly, say, King Alfred, and under the centralizing monarchs of the Anglo-Saxon kings. But other forms of education were also important to Anglo-Saxons, not just a formal education that took place in the monastic schools, but also a more informal or ad hoc way of learning. And one of the ways in which Anglo-Saxons learned were through riddles. Now, to us, a riddle is really just a form of entertainment, much in the way that, say, a knock-knock joke or any sort of pun may be amusing, but it doesn't really do much beyond amusing for the moment. For Anglo-Saxons, the riddles not only amused, they required an understanding and a frame of reference to draw upon. Riddles could draw upon religious frameworks, they could draw upon secular frameworks, they could draw upon sexual frameworks, domestic frameworks, household items. All were a form of essentially drawing upon frames of reference to make sure or to see if ever, what one could derive from the riddle. We're fortunate to have some of these riddles that have come down to us as a modern audience. We're fortunate in part because as may be assumed, riddles were an oral form of communication. They're an oral form of culture, word of mouth, and of course many didn't survive once spoken. However, some of these riddles were written down, and some of the ones that we have today in the 21st century are part of what we call the Exeter Book. These are the Exeter Book Riddles, a series of 95 riddles that cover all kinds of topics. Some amusing, some tragic, some just plain domestic items. Bishop Leofric in the 11th century, donated these riddles to the Exeter Cathedral, hence why they're called the Exeter Book Riddles, donated to the Exeter Cathedral in southern England. These Exeter Book Riddles are a fantastic read, and they're a fantastic insight and window into the mentality of Anglo-Saxons. It gives a chance to see them beyond sort of dry, dusty historical figures, but to see them as real living people, things that they admired, things that they felt important, and the things that they found quite humorous. The riddles, in ways that other records such as the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle or church histories or church records don't do. These riddles humanize the Anglo-Saxons. What follows from this is a selection of these 95 riddles. What I hope is that people who watch this video will attempt to try to guess the answers. Please leave the answers in the comments below. I'd be quite interested to see what people come up with. So without further ado, here are the Exeter Book Riddles.
Quick, quite mum, I die notwithstanding. I lived once, I live again. Everybody lifts me, grips me, and chops off my head, bites my bare body, violates me. I never bite a man unless he bites me. There are many men who bite me.
I saw a creature, masculine, greedy, with all youth's abandon. He guzzled the four springs of what succored him. In sheer delight he made them shoot out, gleaming. A man said to me, alive, that creature breaks the downs. Dead and shredded, he binds the living.
Christ, who alone ordains victories, created me for combat. When my Lord urges me to fight, I often scorch mortals. I approach the earth, and without a touch, afflict a huge host of people. At times I gladden the minds of men. Keeping my distance, I console those who I fought before, though in that consolation they're aware of the conflict also, when once more, after such suffering, I soothe their lives.
Which man is so sharp and so quick-witted as to guess who goads me on my journey, when I get up angry, at times awesome, when I roar loudly and rampage over the land, sometimes causing havoc, when I burn houses and ransack palaces. Smoke rises, ashen over roofs. There is a din on earth, and men die violently when I shake the forest, the flourishing trees and fell timber. I, with my roof of water, driven far and wide in pursuit of vengeance by the powers above. I carry on my back what once covered every man, body and soul, to get submerged together in the water. Say when I am called.
Thank you.